Ben here, and this is going to be an update to my Python Rubik's Cube Scrambler. So since the last one I was able to get the image working, but I'm not going to cover that in this because I feel like I'm not experienced on it right now. But I found a way to get rid of some lines using Python specific syntax, but it'll still be a random move scrambler. So first we'll need the random module, which comes with Python, and now it's a similar setup to the last time. So we're going to have all these all the move types and then the direction that they can go. I'm using two arrays, moves and dir for direction, but you can name it whatever you want. There we go. So now I need the Scramble Length, which is a random integer between whatever you want. I'm using 25 and 28. So now we're going to have two functions. We're going to have a generate scramble, and then we'll have this validation so we can see if it's an actual scramble or a valid scramble, so that you don't do like RLR instead of like R2L. So we can start with the validation. Oops, let's put that in there. So we're going to pass an array, which will be generated in the other function. And let me do this really quick. And then I'll explain it. Okay. So what this is doing is it's going to check as soon as we generate the scramble, it could be mismatched everywhere. So it could have like R moves almost at every part. So what this will do is it'll check two that are next to each other, and it'll change them if they're the same, and then it'll go through again and check if two moves before it is equal. So it gets rid of like the RLR stuff. And that's pretty much it for the validation. As for the actual scramble generation, so we want a valid scramble, and here's the Python specific syntax that I was talking about. It's using list comprehension. So we want to populate the list with random moves and their directions. So this first one is going to be moves and then the direction, and then we're going to say we'll say this X variable, you can name it whatever you want, and then in the range of the length. So that's pretty much it. So, and what we're going to do is we're going to return. Here's another, if I can spell return right, but here's another Python specific syntax that might make it better. It's using something similar to this list comprehension, but for a string. So it's appending this. It'll make it into the better format, as we can see here, like a regular scramble. So how we're going to do that is we need to say that these are strings. And since it's a 2D list, or a 2D array, we need to get both parts, because we already know what those parts are. And I'm using x again as the variable. So that's this part. And you have two options here. You can use the variable you had before, or you can just take the length of the actual array using the len function. And I think I'm going to do that because I feel like it's easier. So now outside of that join, if you want, we can add the bracket so you can see how many moves it is. And here I'm going to use the slen variable. And then I think that is almost it. We can set it so outside of both functions, we can have s equals gen scramble, and then we're going to print s. And I believe that's it. So let's see, I named this test scramble generator, and you can see it works just fine. If I clear this, it still works, and it looks like there's no repeating moves in there. So it's looking good. Thanks.